children, including infants, on his device at the time of the confrontation. Alex was posing as a father who was willing to meet David at a hotel in order to let him pay in exchange for illegal relations with his very young daughter that obviously doesn't exist. In the same bus, Alex also exposed the Telegram group APCL channel, which last I checked had over 14,000 members. Members that, according to David Dunn, were required to trade CP every 12 hours in order to avoid getting booted from the group.
How often do they put like infant videos in these groups?
There's one group that I'm in right now quite often, which you need to check that out if you're checking people out, because there's over 10,000 members in it. I have gotten over 800 videos the first night.
What age range would you say the videos were that they were trying to...
They've got infants in there all the way up to 17, but it's APCL channel.
Okay, he's... Take care of that. APCL channel.
But thanks to Alex, David was arrested, taken to jail, and convicted. After I covered Alex's sting of David Dunn, one of his kids contacted me to thank us for covering this, as it's giving them the courage to come forward and speak out. Nothing could have made me happier other than David Dunn's crimes never being committed in the first place. But with Alex being the cause of hundreds of arrests and too many convictions to count, we are constantly reminded that this really is the world we live in. Thankfully, people like Alex and his team of predator poachers reside with us. I also personally contacted the FBI via email, who reached back out and interviewed me over the phone about APCL channel and vowed to do everything in their power to shut it down. Today, this group either no longer exists or it's private, because I can no longer find it. But make no mistake, it was one of many groups that thrive off of illegal activity involving minors for personal gratification. The current work Alex does and the evolution of his tactics over the years showcase nothing but sheer professionalism. He's come a long way since 2015. Today, he and his group of predator poachers have caught someone accused of doing things to children and harboring interest in some of the darkest illegal activities known to man. And this alleged predator is one of the worst. I imagine how easily a person like this can convince others around him that he's not a monster, especially considering this man is a self-employed nanny. I'm Mr. Black, and this is the disturbing truth.
Got safety protocols? Grainger has the Safety Pros 2 call. Shop our vast inventory of safety products at Grainger.com. Call, click, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Lawyers! Who wants to pull another all-nighter? Who's going to review a ton of evidence? You? No! Cecilia is. Behold, Disco's new 85 assistant. Here in Tom. This weekend, have a weekend!
Meet 43-year-old Dominic Barbagala of Chambersburg, Pennsylvania. Dominic lived with his 75-year-old mother and 98-year-old grandmother when Alex Rosen, who often goes by the pseudonym of Gordon Flowers, knocked on his door in December of 2023. Some kind of religious clergyman was also currently visiting the residence. It's quite obvious that Dominic doesn't want anyone inside the house to hear the conversation that he and Alex are having, so when Alex politely offers Dominic to take a ride with him to a local gas station, he agrees.
I'll be back.
I'm going to kill him.
No, I mean, you're not home. You're going to kill me?
Oh, yeah, I'm Gordon, and I got two people with safety, but again, you don't have to wait something. No, I was going to do it. Well, like I said, everything is important for your safety and my safety, because, yeah, we don't know each other, but, like, I don't look up the garage, or, like, or do you just want to go somewhere? Oh, I was hoping to go with us. Yeah. Okay, that's cool.
The purpose of the drive is to discuss the reason for the home visit, and For that reason, he sends some certain chat logs allegedly between Dominic and an underage vehicle who's chatting with online by the name of Manny. While in the car with Alex driving, there, taking video from the back seat, Dominic is reminded to exit the vehicle.
Yeah, I like Dominic. At any point, if you want me to like we're gonna get the action. At any point, if you want me to stop the car, let you out, just let me know, okay? Like I'm not.
The polite demeanor of the predator posers and the reassurance of safety serves not only to establish a rapport with Dominic, but also to keep him calm and avoid putting the accused under duress. A defense attorney can argue duress as a reason to negate any confessions rendered by his client. This is why Alex is friendly and constantly reminds Dominic that the situation poses zero physical threat to him. This is the perfect tactic to remain within the law and keep the alleged talking. After a few minutes of further building a rapport by talking about random topics, Alex finally dives into the core reason why he's there.
So do you know what he talked to you about today?
No, because I haven't said anything inappropriate or anything like that, so no.
Okay, but I mean, you like know the man he is?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, but I didn't, there was nothing like that. I didn't do anything or say anything or like came on to her or like said anything about it. Yeah,
right. Just curious, how old is he now? How old is she, Kelly?
She told me she's 13.
Okay, I appreciate your honesty. So how do you think how it starts? Obviously, I would think November 1st would be the first date that I'm going to be talking to you about. I think it's still that way before that. I don't know how long. Year or two, maybe. I don't really. A year or two or what? Oh, like 8. Okay, got it. So specifically on Facebook, I mean, like, how long do you think you kind of, like, younger lady and maybe on maybe you can, like, kind of try to get you up?
Well, they always do. Yeah, I don't really go through with that. But
Okay. Do you, then, like, they kind of, like, reach out to you before?
yeah,
Okay. Do you know about when that started?
like 6 months ago, maybe.
Got it. And about how many do you think it was up on Facebook? Of, like, younger lady under 18?
Like 2 or 3. I don't know.
Yeah, fair enough. Do you remember how old they were? Okay.
Usually one time we're conversation, we had one thing and that was it. Nothing else really.
Okay. So maybe within the first actually continue conversation? Okay, fair enough. I had a conversation with you maybe kind of ago. What was kind of the subject matters of the conversations?
First day here and then she was talking about stuff and I was like, I'm not interested in that. I was like 16 to 18 days a week.
Yeah.
I was like, and besides that, I was like, nothing can happen or anything like that.
Maybe you were talking about some deal?
She was talking, she made a message of that, but I told her, I was like, I'm not interested in that also. I want to protect it. I'm not here to hurt you.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that. That's truly, that's really responsible on your end to not be one for one to actually hurt somebody, man. But, yeah, of course.
Some people might think that Alex is too soft with the men who talk to minors online. But this is likely because inside those of us who detest this type of behavior, there's a deep longing for the harshest punishment imaginable for these kinds of misdeeds. But make no mistake, this is a feeling that both Alex and I share with you. But what we have to keep sight of is that the law matters. And in order to get these men to admit what they've done in a way that allows them to be held accountable, Alex must keep his foot in places you might call good cop at all times. But don't be fooled by his friendly demeanor. All predators will be friends.
So, here's what happened. What did she talk about? So, what way did she talk about it?
Like she said one time that she was like,
Okay, well, when did Manny start trying to ask you for sex and all that stuff?
I think it was just recently. It was this recently or something like that, yeah.
Okay.
It was like in the last like week or so or something like that.
Is there anything else you talked about doing? Like, did she send pictures, or did you send me pictures?
Just regular. I sent a regular picture of myself, and then she sent me one. Well, actually, it was. I can't remember if it was just. For the longest time, it was just the one off the left. Her own.
Yeah.
And then after that, and then I think it was like a week and a half ago. I think I was like, we never actually changed pictures, but I just asked for a regular picture.
Right.
Yeah. She sent me like 2 or 3 pictures, just regular pictures. Her with the dog, just letting me know that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Anybody would say.
Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't like a approach.
Got it. Got it. Just you're telling me you're like that for
11 years.
Yeah. Not trying to be intrusive, like, why don't y'all live together?
With Planet Fitness Black Card, you get your first month free when you join today. Sign up for just $1 down, $24.99 a month to get your first month free. Cancel anytime. Deal ends March 13th.
Building your online business? Go to Wix.com and set up your store on a single integrated platform. Add products, showcase them dynamically, and seamlessly track your inventory. Accept multiple secure payments, and design your storefront down to the very last detail. Get all the tools you need. Drive more sales with customizable gift cards and flexible product subscriptions. Retain customers with a point-based loyalty program, email automations, and reach millions with sales channel integrations. Complete your setup with a personalized analytics dashboard. Make smart business decisions and shape the next phase of your business. Build, manage, and grow from one place. Go to Wix and launch your online business today.
She likes it better that way. It's just, she feels like if we got like lived together, we will get at each other's throats, so we get each other's throats, and she just finds it easier just to,
Yeah, that's fair. After discussing with Dominic's wife, whom he appears to be separated from, does for a living, Alex moves on to asking about Dominic's phone number.
What did you get for recently? That's it, right?
not recently.
Okay. No, like, side jobs or anything? Got it. You book a job at platform?
I mean, I hope so. Hopefully.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah, like, I mean, if I wanted this to get into anything you got going on, I would be talking to you in a pretty explicit way like that, so I don't know. I don't really think of that person.
I wasn't trying to be respectful, trying to help someone out. I wasn't trying to,
This is a key moment in Alex's rapport building. He's minimizing the situation in order to keep Dominic thinking that Alex sympathizes with him, but you'll soon find out that both Alex and Dominic's intentions are entirely different from what they're displaying verbally.
No, like literally everybody, especially, and I think people wait until like actually on something like this, because she's like, it'll get into the dress. But I think if you actually think about how many things would be said at all,
literally like, the last month and a half I've been sick with, and there was sinus infection.
oh yeah,
It came back again, so I've been kind of fighting this for like a month and a half.
yeah.
Put on antibiotics, accordingly, started having sinus problems again, and it just hasn't been a couple.
Let's just be clear. There's no evidence that codes or antibiotics cause adults to be attracted to and seek out minors online. So I can only guess the information that's divulging is to explain why his wife is around too. I don't know what my wife was either way, I feel like that might not be. Shortly after this, Alex asked Dominic to return to all that silicone.
like new pictures that he wants to right. Then on her profile it says something about like it has like a money sign. It's like it seemed like she was trying to get people, but she said, she told me, she was like, I had a friend that did it, and someone like gave a whole bunch of people her picture or something like that, and she was like, I don't do that, on the thing, there would be like a money thing, so it looked like that people could send her money in exchange for something, exchange for something, but she said she never did it, but then, I don't know why that was on Facebook.
Got it. Yeah, it's easy for her. You seem like someone's actually responsible for this stuff, and they didn't have to ask her, but, you know, yeah, I see. But I've heard there's like that kind of stuff that happens, on Telegram, like a lot, where like there's people that you're having pictures of like, I guess, young girl taking Mandy Taylor, or sending them around. Have you heard about that?
No, but I see it all on Facebook, I know it's on Facebook.
While Dominic has been on Telegram, it seems his interactions with the underage decoy Mandy were on Facebook. Dominic also wants Alex to believe When Alex mentions calling Dominique's mother, Dominique seems to get a little uncomfortable before inquiring about how much longer the interview will take.
And how long are we going to be left? Because we've been almost an hour or so. Like, I'm just trying to figure out how long we're going to be sitting here. Well, I don't want to sit here as long as it takes to turn it around. Okay. I'm just trying to. I just don't want to keep them waiting because then they're going to question me. They're going to wonder what's going on, and yeah, and then they're going to, and then they're going to get the worst idea. They're going to think like the worst, and then think something, and then okay. So basically, all the document I have there is naked pictures, like 5 to 14 inches. That's what we've done. Okay. This, the best way to use metabolic rate to get not keto, not paleo, not carnivore, not vegan.
Versus like gas, this is not like that.
Now we're going to open this. This is something that we're never going to be able to do. Is there a bloodbath in there?
On May 22nd, 2019, police in Sturgis, Michigan listened to an anonymous 911 caller read them an address. Inside this home, the caller explained, they would find the missing 42-year-old Kelly Jean Warner Miller. Little did authorities know that single phone call would launch the most shocking investigation of their careers, one that required uncovering secret after haunting secret, all buried within an exceptionally twisted and sadistic mind. The following footage has never been seen before. When Kelly Jean, known as KJ, went missing in April 2019, no red flags went up. There were no frantic phone calls to 911 and no weary search parties. But it wasn't because KJ wasn't loved. The trouble was that her lifestyle was transient. She was estranged from her family and had untreated mental health struggles. This meant that sometimes long periods of absence were the norm for KJ. So when police received a 911 call sending them to an address to look for her, and officers found themselves standing on the doorstep of an ordinary-looking apartment, it was hard to believe the call was even real. After all, this wasn't the kind of thing one saw in the small town of Sturgis, Michigan. But there was only one way to find out.
She said inside on the left.
Hi, Randy. Wait. How you doing, man? Hey, how you doing? Doing good. I remember you from the Speedway. Where you up to now?
Answering the door is 35-year-old Wade Allen.
Oh,
We're looking for Kimberly.
Kelly or Kelly? Hello, Kelly. Where's Kelly? That was a chauffeur, maybe? Agent?
At first, Wade seems confused, and for good reason. It's close to midnight, and he's been startled awake by several armed officers knocking on his door. Wade recently came to live in this apartment after a period of homelessness, and KJ was an acquaintance from a shelter he frequented in Kalamazoo.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't tried it from that person for months.
You know, or
I haven't heard from her in a while. The last time I've seen her, a couple months, the last I heard was Kalamazoo. The best way to come to help you get a hold of her is through the shelter.
The eerie atmosphere is palpable. With a call like this, officers can't simply take Wade's words as fact. They need to confirm what, if anything, is behind his front door.
well, we just need to talk to her.
Oh, well,
I'll be glad if we come and look to make sure she's not here.
I could tell you she's not. I mean, you know,
According to Wade, he and KJ had lost touch recently after she suddenly stopped responding to his Facebook messages.
as far as here, I don't like it. My place is not, I don't like it. People run them all the time.
We don't care. We see all sorts of apartments and homes and
Well,
all we had to do was verify she's not here and we can get out of here and stuff.
I don't know. I feel crazy. If you guys want to come by another time, just not right now. Let me at least have a day where I can clean up and do things.
Okay. Well, here's the deal, Wade. We can get through tomorrow, we will. Alright. We don't want to go that route.
I know.
That's a lot of work for all of us. So, if we gotta do that, we have to put it in the box for the law. Alright, so we get that search warrant, so take some money. If she's in there, could you just ever come out and say, I'm fine? Come on,
It's not though. That's the thing. Like, I mean, I can open up and I'll say, hey, KJ, Kelly, and there's no Kelly or KJ.
we're gonna have to stay here with him.
You can.
Here. Okay.
Eventually, Wade agrees to let one officer, one he's met in the past, search his apartment.
You want to one of you guys?
One of us is fine.
You want to come in?
I'll go and wait, thank you.
I know you don't need enough, but
Yeah, I just,
it's not much, but I don't have. I mean, I got somebody here, but not much. I got it. Oh, it's not here. I had to kick. This means I do have a gun. I have a bed.
As Wade guides the officers through his home, nothing in particular is jumping out, but just as it seems the search is coming to a close, one thing catches the officer's eye.
I don't have anyone here.
alright, yeah. What's in the cooler?
Well, that's for when summer something around parties and stuff.
No problem. Can you open that for me and then we'll get out of here?
Well, not right now I can't. Like, I mean, I'm gonna save that for later. For when the summer gets here, so. But I showed you, she hasn't been here forever.
Okay, well, you don't, why don't you just open that cooler and we'll get out of here? I just want to make sure anywhere that she could be hiding. Well, okay, I just need to know that, okay?
No, I mean, I can help you out there, but I've shown you everything.
Wade seems eager to end the search and get back to bed, but his strangely evasive behavior is only working against him.
All right.
You don't want to open that cooler for me?
Well,
Can you open the fridge for me? Make sure she's not hiding in there?
there's no point in Fred either.
I understand. Alright, I'll throw your shoes on real quick.
Well, I help you out. I showed you it.
Partially, but you have shoes you can throw on real quick?
A little bit. But here, I'll help you.
Okay, I'll help you out. Go on out.
Well, I gotta get
You're detained right now, okay? Go on out. You're detained right now. Walk out there.
As the walls seem to close in on Wade, he's forced to make a decision. He can stick to his guns or prove to the police that they really have nothing to worry about.
He said,
I said, what you not? You're not gonna get him on now. Give me out and you walk out there. Do it now. You got anything illegal on you? Okay, put your hands on your back. Can I try and contact?
no.
Okay. Why don't you turn around and get the wall real slowly?
paying attention. I'm just want the opportunity to look the rest of the way through the apartment, okay? Well, I showed you everything. Here, let me... Do you want to show me? I will. I told you everything. Why don't you walk back in there and show me? But I did. You see? Can I look in that fridge? Yeah. Okay. It's not huge. Okay. I see she's not in there. But she wants to be in the fridge. I understand that, but we gotta look. We found people in some great places.
With no sign of KJ, Wade makes no attempt to hide his frustration with police.
She wouldn't have to hide. Well, I don't know her. I don't know anything about her. I don't know if she's hiding from the law or hiding from her family or what she's doing. So I just want to verify. Okay. Now look at that cooler over there. That's kind of, like I said, later on and summer stuff, I'm trying to keep my stuff kind of private, you know? That's fine. All I want to do is open it and say, hey, get you in there, close it right back up, and I'll get out of here. You'll be out of handcuffs, and we'll be gone. Well, that's how I want it for the rest of this. Now, it's okay. It's okay. I don't understand why all this.
Seemingly confused at the invasion of his personal space, Wade agrees to wait it out while officers request a search warrant.
I'll just have a seat right there. Well, do you mind if I wait out here? I might. No, I got to pipe up search warrant. But at this point, I'm suspicious that she is in there. Why? So, because you won't let me look in that cooler or any other big boxes in there. I didn't see anything else I needed to look through, but a big cooler, you know, I had no idea what size she is. If she's a little person, you could probably put two of her in that cooler. That cooler was that big. So basically, I had to make sure she's not hidden in there. It took a little while to answer the door, so I don't know if she was. The reason why I took a while is because I had to get dressed. Okay. Then I didn't, yeah, I understand that if you were in bed, yeah. But in the meantime, you could have been telling somebody to go hide the cooler. I don't know. She's not in trouble. We just have a job to do.
As officers repeatedly ask Wade to wait in the cruiser, he does everything he can think of to avoid the back seat.
I actually like to stay out here if that's okay. Well, we can't. Sit right here if that's okay.
We can sit long ways across the street. We gotta get all the way in. If you want to put your back towards the other door, you can, or whatever's more comfortable for you.
Once Wade finally gets settled, officers catch up a few feet away, and they're quick to voice concerns.
Persona should be the first
Meanwhile, a somewhat cooperative Wade is still squirming in the back of the squad car.
This box is open. Okay. I really am. Oh, alright, we'll head back there, okay? We'll put you, I'm really feeling claustrophobic right now. Okay. Well, if we could end this all, you can take me in there and let me look around more, or we can, I gotta take you back and put you in a cell while I'm doing the search warrant. So. Alright, well, let me go back then.
As Wade silently leads the officer back to his apartment, a strange energy hangs heavy in the air.
All I'm concerned about is any closets or any coolers. Just in here. Watch. Okay. Can I pop it open? Just take a peek. Well, that's one. Okay. I'll just step back for a second. What's in there? Okay. Alright, let's head out here. Head out here. Yep, everything's good. Shall we do everything? Yep. You're under arrest, okay? Under arrest? Yes, you are. So I can get contact force out here. Can I get a soda, please? Just keep walking.
Once outside and back in the patrol car, Wade seems eager to fill the silence.
It's like this way, you have to, then. Yep. Yep. That's probably the best place for me, but
The officers already seem to have an idea that something horrible happened in that apartment, but they couldn't yet know just how twisted things will get by the end of this disturbing case.
I am currently sitting in a car with a guy in the back seat who has done something bad.
As some of the officers begin searching the apartment, others transport Wade to the station and settle in for a long night, doing their best to put him at ease. Whatever happened, they need to know the full story. When he does start to talk, the story he has to tell is only a small piece of the truth, and what really happened to KJ is far more disturbing than anyone could have ever imagined.
We got some homemade cookies in there that are really good. You want a couple cookies? Alright, pass on that. You want a couple of them, or? Yeah, I'm agreed there. Okay. Alright. We will, get you hooked up. Alright, man. Here's some cookies. I can get started on those.
Soon, the detective arrives. While Wade insinuated earlier that KJ was merely a distant friend, it's not long before that story changes.
I think it goes back to like 2013, okay. And we started being friends, or we started dating sometime after that. I want to be fair and say that you've known Kelly Keating since 2013 and well, I've known her before that, but that was something she added to Facebook.
Recently, according to Wade, he even lived with KJ in his current apartment.
Alright, Wade, so what I would like to know from you is, in your own words, what happened to Kelly Keating?
She's looking a lot. Might take a little bit to describe it, but it's a lot. Pretty great stuff. I don't worry on. So I'm thinking of the one absolutely.
Earlier, the search of Wade's apartment revealed some chilling discoveries.
So there's a rope, there's a bungee cord. We have the trash bag. Some type of rip. When you look at female belt. Girl shoes, those green ones?
I was saying that she's hyperglycemic.
Yeah.
Alright, so her eating level is her porch. She has to have a certain amount of sugar in it or whatever. I always looked at the attention to these hobbies. I know at one point, watching the cereal, and it was really clear for the head and really concerned. Because a little after that, I started seeing hormone issues, better speech, memory, things like that. I was concerned.
How long ago would you say that was? Yeah, that's good. I mean, right here. You see this?
That's what happened in March.
Okay, so it's been a little bit. When she fell, did she talk about doctors? Did she knock herself out?
Some stone herself. She was unconscious.
Okay, so how long would you say a little bit?
Well, I would say conscious and as even though that might seem like a little bit to me, that's long, but something unconscious.
And as Wade tells it, KJ's symptoms lingered in the days after her fall, and they weren't subtle. She had no memory of what happened, and she struggled to carry out daily functions that weren't a challenge for her before. Though KJ did suffer from these symptoms, what Wade is saying happened isn't the whole story, and what really happened to her is far more disturbing than just a fall.
I was trying to take care of her,
Wade isn't the only person police spoke to. They also asked his neighbor Sherry, who lived right next door, to come to the station to answer some questions and hopefully shed some light on what really happened to KJ. According to Sherry, she and Wade had a cordial relationship, occasionally spending evenings watching TV together in her apartment. But Wade made a comment about KJ that left Sherry feeling concerned.
Also, he told me that she had fallen to the bathroom and that he thought she might have a skull fracture. And I said, well, you need to take her to the emergency room because I'm taking care of her.
This development immediately put officers on high alert, and the story he told officers, Wade explained KJ fell in the kitchen while making cereal. In this version, Wade said she fell in the bathroom. This is only the first of many red flags in this story.
And that was really shocking. I did my best to try to feed her. So one time I came in, I saw her sitting on the sofa. I said, try to feed her each meal. I wanted to scream to make her feel she was chilly. And she was just kind of like holding it like this. And she was so slow. And it was just chilling all over.
Wade explained that KJ even struggled to drink water at times, despite his attempts to help her.
As you try to get some medical treatment for her, see what was going on, anything like that.
I didn't say, I didn't know if she could move or get around.
What do you think of that?
I can take it on and go for it. I did start talking for things where a girl how she might be a adult foster care. Yeah. Because before even that, there was issues with bladder control problem. Like, oh my god, I had a big old yellow stain all over she came on me. Yeah, but it's like, she had issues with bladder control.
Sherry, Wade's neighbor, had more to share. Over time, she'd grown to feel extremely uneasy in his company. It wasn't long before an eerie and unprompted confession validated her strange feelings about Wade. From here, the story takes an even darker turn, suggesting that what police know about Wade so far barely scratches the surface.
He told me that he hit women.
He told you that he hit women?
Yeah. And then he was working on his, I think your domestic violence. And I told him, you can't do that, you know. I said, you can go to jail for that. He goes, I know, I'm working on it.
After Wade's comments, Sherry remained friendly, but guarded, and she decided to ease off of their visits.
I thought, I don't want him in my house because of drugs.
Right. Within 2 weeks of KJ's supposed fall, Wade claims that something terrible happened. Keep in mind that he knows the officers are working their way through his apartment, and he knows what they're going to find. He's setting himself up with a story he thinks will explain away the stomach-churning evidence.
I figured she'd be okay with the fans of taking the bath. But I started water. I got to be okay. And I watched over her ball. But what really shocked me when I saw her feet, that it was that she started with hot water. I don't know, but it had to turn it on. I can't understand why she would turn it or jumped it or. And I don't know without death and hot water, or maybe she tried to get out that oil or something. I don't know, but I seriously do want to know what they thought that was. And I really don't know.
With this claim, Wade has confirmed that KJ isn't missing. She's dead.
When you went to that, how was she positioned?
She was like,
Okay. So this is where keep anything at the outside fridge. If you make you die. Okay. Oh my God. And did you go back in there?
I never sleep.
You would sleep.
I thought you
Authorities struggle to understand Wade's logic. In what world would someone leave a person who is incapable of eating, drinking, or moving around without help alone in a tub full of water? There's one very good reason for this. Wade isn't telling them the truth. While on a break in the back room, officers wrestle with ideas about what's really going on.
These guys like on there.
He's down there. We thought like, I figured just he could choke him up pretty easy, but he's either really good or he's just, I don't think he's all there.
As the police will soon learn, it isn't that Wade is out of his mind. Rather, he's attempting to manipulate them in order to hide the truth of what really happened to KJ. But the horrors uncovered back at his apartment will reveal an entirely different version of events.
So your cat's off. Something's right there because I see it here. Yeah. Sounds like it is pretty level.
When the officers interviewing Wade return to speak with him, they press him further, hoping to get a story that makes sense. What Wade soon tells them is chilling.
And then when did you go back into the bathtub? Or the bathroom, I'm sorry.
not so morning when I woke up.
Was the water still running, or was the water on?
Water was off, but she had to.
Was her and the water open in the morning? Okay. What happened at that point? Did you call 911? Did you call anybody at all?
If KJ's death was truly an accident, it's hard to fathom why Wade wouldn't immediately call for help. Wade has also just lied to police, or at the very least, he's leaving something integral out of this story. Given the 911 call reporting KJ's death, Wade had to have told someone about KJ's death.
I had her in the bathtub for a little while, and I don't think he's going to be very cooperative with you.
Okay. Well, most people aren't.
It turns out that Wade had no question in his mind about the identity of the mysterious caller who reported him to the authorities.
I have one friend which followed me to call, and I'm not going to be upset with him. That's the point where he contacted me.
And Wade was right. The caller was his own best friend, Stephen Ryan Russ. Wade explained that after everything had happened, his only way to cope with KJ's death was to tell someone. So he confided in Stephen. But what he told him was so disturbing that Stephen couldn't keep it to himself. When police bring Stephen in for questioning, it's clear from the start he has reservations about speaking up.
Oh, is it going to be in court? This possibly be in court, yeah. So what do you know about this? Here it goes. Alright, so the whole case came to light when the dispatch got the call. Regarding Wade and KJ. Do you know about that call?
Yes, I did.
Did you place that call to Central Dispatch?
Yes, I did.
And what was that call in reference to?
My family was being very scared of him, and it was to the point that they couldn't even sleep, so I had to do something.
Stephen continues, explaining the series of Facebook messages that turned his world upside down.
He said,
that he did something and that you can't talk to anyone about it. And I was like, well, I'm running. It's on Facebook.
According to Stephen, Wade then explained that KJ had passed away unexpectedly, and he didn't report her death to the police.
He wanted us to help him move the body with the car. We both told him no, that we can't do that. And I was like, no, you're one of my closest friends, and I'll keep your secret for you, but obviously I couldn't.
In interrogation, Wade tries to explain his choice to hide KJ's death, hoping to ease detective suspicions.
It's hard to feel like that, to be honest, if I feel like I go through scenarios all the time where I feel sick.
Well, I tell you, we're not here making any accusations. We're just here to
It's hard to figure out what happened. I didn't do it right now. I was just everywhere. I should have done something right. And I just felt like whatever I would have said would have taken the wrong way or said the wrong way.
By now, Wade knew he was in trouble. KJ's body was still in his apartment, and he needed it gone. Stephen eventually paid him a visit, and things only got worse.
He asked me if I wanted to see the body. I told him no. I really didn't want anything to do with it. I didn't even want to be in there. It felt like there was no sitting on the chest.
When asked why Wade would keep KJ's body in the apartment, Stephen gave an answer that only hinted at the truth.
My guess is because he didn't have the means to control it.
But you get one else to do it. I didn't even know how well that felt good. I wanted to do a proper burial.
Wade's desire to give KJ a proper burial is chilling, and his next comments stir up the eerie feeling that Wade desires some sort of control, a theme that will surface again soon. As disturbing as this story is, it's only the beginning of the sickening revelations, because Wade still isn't telling the full story.
At least whenever I was there, I was visiting. I was not wandering out of like no like visiting. I mean, I don't know what you guys would do with her now, but if I could know where she was there, that's what I'd do.
Or transpired from there.
Well, I'm not great enough right now. Seeing things better, can't let it see. Okay, so it took me a while to get to there. I would put cold water on her. And then I was like, I mean, you have a lot of temptation, right? Sure. Also, you keep the body cold or something, maybe, maybe I make more thinking, but that's TV, right? I've seen the whole decontamination process. And, you know, I'll come in and check on it. I don't understand, so I feel awkward. Okay. It makes you quickly.
I don't think it's something that needs to be It's no different than someone goes to a great site and talks to one of their loved ones and fast.
First couple days, miserable, right? Right. Then I see that the blood is settled or to rain, but then There's a lot of that. That's not so exciting like that. And, it's like, what he's doing. I think she was pretty stiff for a good while. But when she was laying in front of his pile, laid against the wall, like something, but he was after a while, but they were laying, laid on the shoulder.
Now, Wade was in a pickle. With a decomposing body in his bathtub and with Stephen's refusal to help him move it, it was only a matter of time until someone caught on. So, he hatched a plan. On April 12th, around 6 days after KJ's death, Wade saved up the money to buy a large cooler, air freshener, and 30-gallon trash bags.
So what happened at that point? He said that he got warm and then realized you needed a second work. What do you mean by that? Well, I wanted to put it on one. They should be told. And 5 minutes really blue for any time waited for not to do for the main call. That's where I really enjoyed it.
So, is it a bloodbath in there?
What happened at that point? Oh, when I had to get the second cooler, I had to put it late in that one. I'm not gonna lie, I was supposed to take that one. I guess help me understand how she was in with her late brother on. I had to cut her late. Okay, when you say that, you mean that her body was good for the first point? Because it wasn't in the first point. And would she be still be able to move her around to clip it in the first? It's like to move it out of that, the movement third things or something. But,
When Wade couldn't fit KJ's body into one large cooler, he decided dismemberment was his only option. But he didn't exactly keep a low profile. Instead, he asked to borrow a saw from his neighbor Sherry. Not an unusual request, if it weren't for his bizarre explanation. According to Sherry, Wade claimed he needed the tool to cut his mattress in half. When he wasn't able to use someone else's saw, he purchased his own from a local supermarket and then got to work.
where did you have her like that? It's the most disgusting thing ever. Hopefully you never have to see something like this in your life. Ever. Alright, so here and then here. I started here, but then I realized her knees were still over the edge, you know. So I had to go here too. That's what I really wanted to do, except she was too heavy for me, is take her under the shower, you know, wash her off, but after she passed on, she cracked herself on those pants. I didn't even know that until I got at the floor.
The police working their way through Wade's apartment eventually confronted the sickening discovery hidden in his cooler.
Now remember, when we open this, this is something that we're never going to be able to unsee.
So yeah.
And arms, her breast, she's been gone for a while. Yep. Her legs are detached, and above the knee. Yep. Bugs have made their way in. Yep. Large amount of people. Definitely female. Appears to be Caucasian. Making no clothes.
Oh yeah. Nice.
there's a lot more evidence in here somewhere.
The officers have only discovered part of what they believe to be KJ's body, but it won't be long before they find the rest.
Picture of that. So that's where it is. Clear all of this. Plug up that range in front of the suitcase. So this cooler is what we think might have the other parts in it. Get up. Get it tied in a knot. Up here. I will cut right here. Yeah, open our legs. I saw the toes, the ankle. Yeah. Okay. I have this place to puke.
From his apartment, authorities also collected clear safety goggles, rubber gloves, and several small items, including bungee cords, a black belt, and a white ribbon. This white ribbon, a seemingly innocuous discovery compared to the horrors already uncovered, would turn out to be a clue to the stomach-churning truth of what really happened to KJ.
What's it? Yeah. The color sheets. Yeah. That's all I see with the arm and part of the chest. I don't know that it's about like
Authorities shift focus to the saw, which wasn't recovered from Wade's apartment during the initial search. Wade says that shortly after he dismembered KJ's body, he contacted a friend he knew through the local shelter system to negotiate a trade, a saw for a DVD player.
was recently renovated or had anything needed or how's that going to play out with buildings?
Maybe it might be good.
While Wade describes trading the saw as a casual, serendipitous event, police catch up with the man who received the saw, and he describes an entirely different scenario.
Like, he really was trying to get to around like those weights every week. So like my deals where, I had those weights and I got back on my constantly. Well, probably just like, I don't know, you're just saying,
We usually do something you pick this up pretty much as you
that you can say, no, not right.
Did you notice anything about the phone or weird on the person looking at the
See, like, consideration, like a chunk of something weird.
DNA testing of the saw blade did reveal the possibility of blood present, although further details could not be confirmed.
I mean, I'm not proud of anything at all.
sure, but stuff happens and when you're trying to
It's not how it should be, but I kept saying that for like, this is not how we should like this.
Upon reflection, Phil explained this wasn't the only thing that seemed off when he was around Wade.
And then when you heard about me getting around for a while, was the first thought in your mind. I didn't believe it. I'm like, because I've been hanging out with him. I freaked out because I was sitting on the floor and I could tell they smelled like junk. Now I lived in my sleeping bag. That smell was there. So that one tank. And I was just thinking, damn scary. It's nasty fouls or something. Or that's what I honestly thought that was, but now I know. That's what mine.
By now, the police are more than suspicious that the story Wade is telling them isn't the truth, but just what exactly he was hiding remained to be seen. Still, Sherry, Wade's neighbor, may have had some idea about what was really going on behind the closed door of Wade's apartment. In her interview, she recalled one of the few interactions she ever had with KJ. One day, she stopped by Wade's door to ask for coffee and was surprised when KJ greeted her at the door. Sherry didn't know it at the time, but as KJ peered out from behind the front door, she didn't have a stitch of clothing on. KJ agreed to send Wade over shortly. When he showed up on Sherry's doorstep, coffee in hand, he wasn't happy. According to Sherry, Wade admitted to forcing KJ to walk around their home naked, and by answering the door that day, she'd apparently crossed the line.
He said, she shouldn't open the door like this. Why is he
tells them I have to get the bell out.
But back in the interrogation room, Wade doesn't do much to refute his neighbor's accusations. In fact, he expands on them.
Either going to jail for fighting somebody or pushing somebody or any kind of domestic violence or anything crazy like that.
The domestic things in the past have been dismissed before.
A pattern is beginning to emerge. While Wade admits fault in some instances, the admissions almost seem calculated, as if they're designed to distract from the larger questions at hand.
I said, if I hear any domestic violence, I'm going to call the police.
Sherry never called the police, but Wade eventually admits to the officers that he did hurt KJ.
Alright, I kicked her in the butt because I was ashamed of her cheating on me and such. You know, I shouldn't have, but I did. And then when I find out in court, she tried to blame the bruises of her ankle on me. I said, I had nothing to do with her. It's all nothing. But then what happened when she fell down by the road, that kind of balance, she fell on the railroad track, and that caused bruises from her ankle bone, not from you kicking her. Oh, yeah, just.
No, report required. You want to just
If she had a reason for consent.
Soon officers place Wade in a holding cell while they continue to investigate.